Because sometimes people start living out somebody else's book, literally start living out a very, very different book from the way God has designed them, or a very different book from what God has told them to do, simply because they were inspired. Let's not be people. I said people. You don't want to be people in this matter. You want to live out your book. Hello, people of God. How are you doing? But today I want to talk about something that's just, I've been musing on it for a few days, to be very honest. And it's something around like inspiration. And I did say I'll bring the dictionary definition of inspiration, but I forgot to check it. But it's something about inspiration. And I think it's something our generation, particularly the day we live in, we need to really be very careful and mindful of and pay attention to. Inspiration is fantastic. The Spirit of God inspires us. I'm not actually talking about that. I'm talking about more when we're inspired by other people or by things, situations, and things we see. And even sometimes God leads us to something or someone that we're inspired by, and we admire something they're doing or how they do it, or just something about them. It might be their character, it might be whatever. So we might be inspired by something or a situation that we find ourselves in, but we must be very careful, especially in the day we live in, to not latch onto inspiration as meaning a copy and paste job, or therefore, because I'm inspired, I'm going to try to do this thing like this person. Sometimes inspiration may warrant you learn from the person, you take a leaf or two, you learn how to, maybe you like the way somebody navigates certain conversations and the way they're able to negotiate. So you learn, okay, this is how they do that. This is, so that's fantastic. And you apply it to the way that the way you operate. But sometimes we can see something and be inspired and therefore think it means I need to do the same thing, or therefore I need to copy the person, or I need to compete with the person and, show them that me too, I can do that. And it's a very, very, very subtle thing, but it's something I've been musing on for a few days. And it's something that our generation runs the risk of doing it, particularly because everything is very visual, everything's very in your face, everything's very real time. So we can see things and grasp onto things, and then we start doing things that we're not graced to do. You don't want to get caught up in that. Doing something that you're not graced to do just because you see somebody doing something or you're inspired by what they do does not mean that you too are meant to do it necessarily. The question should be, Lord, I'm inspired. I love this. What can I want? Why are you inspiring me? Why am I inspired by this? Or what can I learn? Or how is this going to, you may see somebody do something and you love the way they do that thing. But what God may be showing you to learn is learning like maybe the character they had to develop to be able to do that thing. So God is showing you that because he wants you to develop the character. He doesn't necessarily want you to do the same thing they're doing. So let's be very mindful of that, because sometimes people start living out somebody else's book, literally start living out a very, very different book from the way God has designed them, or a very different book from what God has told them to do, simply because they were inspired. Let's not be people. I said people. You don't want to be people in this matter. You want to live out your book, the books written concerning you. You want to live them out. You want to read. I want to live out Mo's book. I do not want to live out anybody else's book but mine. And sometimes we can literally go for years in our lives being inspired by someone else, chasing after, silently competing with the person in our hearts, because we want to show that yes, we too can do this. We end up doing things we're not graced for and things that were never in a book. A dear person I love, shared a story about how one of my core teachers actually, how she, had this encounter where she saw like a notebook. I didn't have, let me just show you this as an example. Like this notebook, right? Apologies, it doesn't look that great. But this notebook, right? This, so she saw like a scorecard, and there are things written on the notebook, and ticks and all of that. And then let's say like, here. Yeah, okay. So she now saw like paper torn out of the notebook. And basically, I think there was an angel with her or something, and said, this is for the stuff that's it was representing something along those lines. I don't remember the story too well, but basically highlighting the stuff that she'd taken on, which she didn't need to do. The stuff that she'd, embraced, or we start doing stuff sometimes. Let's do this. Oh, let me do this too. Let me do that. Oh, I've seen that. Let's do that. Oh, I'm going to create my own. Let's do. Oh Lord, help us. The things that she'd taken on that she didn't need to do. It was like they ripped it out. Like this means nothing. We're not marking this because this wasn't in your book. So this one's just something you did as a waste of time. We can go years like that. Let's not be that. Let's not do that. Let's use this Q4 2020, end of 2025 into 26 to recalibrate. Maybe you want to even pause on everything you're doing and you want to spend time with the Lord at the Master's feet, asking God, what should I be doing? What should I be doing? It will bring about great deliverance to many of us. Trust me, I'm going to be doing the same. Great deliverance to many of us. What are the things I'm doing that are no longer in season? What are the things I'm doing that are, Dora Masinaka. Thank you, Jesus. What are the things I'm doing that are not in my book because I'm inspired by somebody else? Because I'm trying to prove oh my God, we are trying to prove ourselves to ourselves, or prove that, okay, means I can do this. Sometimes people do it for the sake of showing that they're still relevant. When, of course, I'm speaking to myself here, you need to be releasing music. You do need to be, right? So I'm just saying, sometimes people do those things for that reason. Everybody's doing this. We jump on this bandwagon. This is how everybody's doing it. But yet, that's not the pattern God designed for us. So I pray that all of us, me included, we will all run to the feet of the Master and truly ask Him for the blueprint, and that we will learn to be inspired the right way. It's beautiful when people inspire us. It's beautiful when we can see people to look up to. Trust me, in corporate organizations, one of the issues often is representation, right? In minorities, because people say, I don't see myself in, I don't see any representation. And when people see somebody that represents them, they're inspired. Inspiration is a good thing. It motivates them. So it's not a bad thing altogether. It's never a bad thing. Oh, it's bad if you don't use it the right way. But I pray that God will teach us how to be inspired the right way, how to take from what we need to take and continue to operate in our own modus operandus, our own pattern of operation. I have spoken more than intended, but I believe the Spirit of God is helping all of us to do that. So that's my prayer for you, that you will be inspired the right way. God bless you. Take care. Take care. Take care. Bye.